Hello, welcome to EDUC 5103 Educational Research for the Spring 2019 semester. My name is Dr. Alicia Baker and I will be your facilitator for this course. It is conducted completely online, so you will be using this course right here that you are currently in for all of your work. So I just wanted to take the time to go over the layout of the course and review the syllabus a little bit. But you will need to go and review the syllabus completely on your own. Make sure you read through it all and you understand it. If you don't understand it, please feel free to email me and ask any questions you have early on in the semester, because the syllabus is what we go on for the entire semester. So I want to make sure that you have a good understanding of it before moving forward in this course. So this is our course in Blackboard. If you notice over here, these tabs, these links, are going to be the most important ones in the course. So we will be using those a lot. That's how you're going to navigate, where you're going to upload your assignments, where you're going to get important documents and information. So I want to make sure that you notice these, and I will probably be referring to them throughout the course. So when I say, for example, it's in the Upload Assignments tab, you will know that I'm talking about this over here. So I'm currently on the Start Here tab. This is some information about me. I was in the public school setting for 13 years. I earned my PhD from OSU a couple of years ago, and I've been here. This will be, I'm completing my third year. So you have my office phone number here, where my office is located. Feel free to come by and visit me during my office hours, or if you need to talk with me outside of those hours, contact me via email and we can set up a time to meet. My email is my preferred method of communication, so please start there. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, which is really rare, if that happens, something happened to the email, it got lost somewhere. So make sure you follow up with me and just let me know that you had emailed me and I missed it somehow. But that rarely happens. These are my office hours. I will be actually online from 9 to 11 a.m. on Monday and Wednesday. I'll be actually physically in my office on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12:30 to 2:30. If that has to change for some reason, I'll send an email out and let everyone know what's going on that. And then I can also meet with you as needed by appointment. We can meet in person, we can talk on the phone, or we can also set up virtual meetings through Zoom. So any way that you would prefer to meet with me, we can make that happen. Let's go ahead and look in the syllabus tab. This is a very important tab. If you look right here, here's our spring syllabus. If you click on that, it'll download and you will have access to it. I'm going to go ahead and bring this one over. Okay. So this is 3-hour class, so you can see all my information is here again. It's completely online through Blackboard. Here is the NSU Conceptual Framework, so I do want you to read through that. I won't read through it right now. We're just going to kind of hit the highlights on things. So if you look here under number 10, I have all your assignments that you will be completing throughout the semester listed with the amount of points and the due date. So the discussion boards are kind of scattered throughout. The quizzes are scattered throughout, so I didn't list that. There is a schedule, and I'll show you that. So make sure that you review this and ask me any questions if you need to. So there's a total of 565 points in the course. You have to get a 93 to 100 to earn an A, 85 to a 92 to earn a B, 76 to 84 to earn a C, and a 70 to 75 for a D. Anything below 70 is an F, so hopefully we won't get there. The instructional materials, you will need these. The book is where all your quizzes will come from, and you will need to refer to that when you're completing your prospectus. This APA manual is very important. It's how you format information, so you'll be referring to that for all your in-text citations, your references, your abstract. If you want to make a chart or a table, you will need to refer to this. So it is an important book to have, and it will serve you well throughout your entire program. So this course is required for a couple of different programs. It's an elective for some or a substitute course. Some of your programs do require you to complete a thesis. you could potentially use what we do here to work towards your thesis. If that is the case, then you need to contact your advisor kind of throughout the semester just to touch base and make sure that your project that you're thinking about doing is appropriate for your thesis. So make sure you talk to your advisor depending on your program if it requires a thesis. It is set up in module format, and it's a week long for each module. You need to make sure that you complete each module in time because it does build on itself. So the assignments are always due by 11:59 p.m. the day of the due date, and I have those dates listed throughout. It's on the syllabus and on the module as well. So this late work is very important. I actually have a small assignment on this late work portion of the syllabus. Basically, it's saying that all work is due on time. If you need an extension because of an extenuating circumstance, you must contact me prior to the due date, unless it is a situation where you are completely unable to do that, a car wreck, you're hospitalized, something like that. Other than that, you need to contact me prior to the due date or I will not give you an extension. So if a permission is given, I will still reduce your grade by 10%. Also, if I do give you an extension, it is your responsibility to include a note in the add comments section of where you will upload your assignment. The note just needs to be very simple and state that how we corresponded, typically through email, the date we corresponded, that I granted you an extension, and give me the reason why you needed the extension, and then put on there that the date of the extension I gave you. So for example, I put on here, we emailed on March 26th of 2018 and gave an extension until March 28th of 18 due to a death in the family. So real quick, one sentence, you must do that for me to give you an extension because I tend to grant extensions pretty regularly, and I just want to make sure that I remember that I had given you an extension, why I did, so I don't have to go and hunt through emails, things like that. So make sure you do that. If you do not put that on there, you're likely to get a 0 on that assignment. So make sure that you include that one sentence. Everything will go through SafeAssign. So that is checking for plagiarism. It also checks for self-plagiarism. So if you've done work in another class and you try to submit it for this class, it will show up. Your lit review second draft and final draft will probably have a high percentage, and that is because your first draft, so it will all build to get on each other. So just know that when you do your second draft and your final draft, it will have a high percentage, but just know that if it shows high, I go in and I look to see where that information is coming from. I'll see that it's from your first draft and everything will be okay. So here's some information about it: complete, incomplete if you need it, diversity statement, academic policies. There's a link to our academic affairs website if you need information on any of those items. If you go down here, this is our tentative class calendar with assignment due dates. I say tentative because things may have to change, move around depending on situations that may arise throughout the semester. So if something like that does happen, I will let you know via email. It is important that you check your NSU email very, very regularly in an online class. That's the way I communicate with you. If I'm grading and something seems odd or you misunderstood something, I will email you. So make sure that you are checking those emails. So this is set up in the module. So the week is January 14th through the 20th. These are the things that are going to be required of you. And I also put due dates on there. So this is just a way to try to help you keep organized. If something is different on here versus the list that I gave you up top, let me know and I could see what happened. I do try to put dates throughout the syllabus and within the Blackboard, so I put it multiple places, and occasionally I get off somewhere, but make sure that you stick with what's in the syllabus. That's the date I'm going with. In addition, I did put some information from the university in here. For example, drop dates. If you look down here, there's spring break going on, W's, And then I did give you the 16-week class calendar so you can just see what's going on there. So this is just a good reference for you. I also have it in Blackboard on the syllabus page so you can refer to it there as well. My intention in this course is to make sure that you know what is expected of you and when it is expected. So if you're confused about any of it, just email me and let me know. So throughout here, you do have some smaller assignments, but your first big assignment is your lit review first draft due February 24th. A minimum of 5 pages with 7 to 10 references. We do use APA, that APA manual that I talked about earlier. We use that for all of our writings. So your first draft is due February 24th. Do not wait until February 18th, the week of that, to begin that process. It is a lengthy process. We do a discussion board about the lit review, and it talks about what surprised you about it. Most of the time I have students that say the amount of time it took to complete the lit review really surprised me. I underestimated that, and so I want to make sure that you guys are working on it as you go throughout the first couple of weeks. So do not save the lit review until February 18th. Be working on it even right now, okay? So the second week, the second module does have an annotated bibliography, and that will kind of give you a good start into developing your lit review, because you can take those 5 articles that you are working on and use them as part of your lit review. And if you're saying, what is a lit review? I have no idea what you're talking about. That's okay. We will go over it in just a second. So that is the syllabus. Email me if you have any questions. So going back to our Blackboard site, we can look there. Let's go ahead and look at, right here is a tentative schedule that I've copied and pasted there. So if we look at the modules section, very important section, yours will look a little bit different than this, because this is my view, student view looks a little bit different. So if you go into module 1, it is set up in sections. So these will come up one at a time for you. So you'll see this, the goals, and how it's going to be assessed. My video that I'm creating right now will be here for you. And if you click into these, they're all linked. This is going to be your task that you need to do. And I told you that I do have a task for the late policy, so here it is. Feel free to use whatever resources you need to, the syllabus, to finish that out. Keep going down through here. There's information wiki that you need to complete. There's directions about that. So just go through here, and there's videos and PowerPoints on the chapters that we are reviewing. So watch those, please. They're very informational. And then there's another assignment, qualitative versus quantitative, research problem, looking forward. So it's set up where you just kind of step through it page by page. Okay, and you can see that they are dated for you. I am releasing 2 weeks at a time, just so I don't overwhelm you. So ahead of time, they will be released to you. So you won't be able to see everything that I see right now, but you will be able to see them eventually. They will be released along the way. There are a couple of discussion boards. So I give you information here within the discussion boards. I do have a rubric that I use, and I'll show you that rubric in just a minute. So these, just follow the dates of when these are due. If you have any questions that would be for the good of the whole class, feel free to answer them here. I will subscribe to it, so the email will be sent to me so I know someone has posted. If you know the answer to some question that another person has posted, please feel free to answer it. You don't have to wait on me to answer it here. And also look here for information of just clarifying information that other people have brought up. This is also where you will put your presentation at the very end. We'll talk about that later on. Here's a rubric. Whoops, where did it go? I'm sorry. I think you'll be able to see it better on yours, but I also have it in another place as well. So examples, important documents. This is an important place. So here is a bunch of information, examples of annotated bibliographies, an example of a lit review, example of proposals. So when I talk about some information that I'm giving you, then come back here and look and see if it is posted here. Here's an etiquette, how you act in an online environment. And then here are the rubrics that I have for you. Please refer back to the rubrics before you submit something. Make sure that you've addressed everything that I've asked for in the directions and in the rubric. I use the rubric to grade everything. So if you address everything that's on the rubric, then you should be fine. Additionally, here you'll find the templates, depending on if you're doing suggesting a quantitative or qualitative study. You will use the templates here. So they are here for you to use. You really don't have to think about them too much until later on, but it will depend on if your study is qualitative or quantitative. Here's where you will upload your assignments. So for the annotated bibliography, you click on it and you can submit it. Please attach it as a file. That way when I'm grading it, I can make my editing marks directly on the paper or comments directly on the paper. Do not submit it in the Write Submission tab. Just upload it as a Word doc or something like that. This comment section is where I was talking about earlier. If I did give you an extension for your due date, this is where you will write that sentence that tells me how we communicated, when we communicated, when I gave you the extension, and why I gave you the extension. So this is the area that you would do that here. Okay, there's a couple rubrics here also. But you just click in here and you upload it through here, and I will grade it, give you feedback. I try to grade it in a timely manner. If something happens and you don't get a grade from me on an assignment at some point, you may check in with me and see what happened. It might have gotten overlooked somehow or something, but I do try to give you quick feedback because that's important, especially in this class where it's kind of fast moving and you need feedback to move on to the next assignment. If you click on this tab, it is kind of a module that our library staff has prepared for us. This is Carl. He is on the Broken Arrow campus. You can contact him for help if you would like. And this is Sarah. She's on the Tahlequah campus, and they are wonderful. They are very, very helpful. We can go to the library website, check that out. There's tutorials, how to do searching. You will be doing a lot of research in this class, looking for peer-reviewed journal articles, and that's very important, peer-reviewed journal articles for your annotated bibliography and your lit review. So this is information, go through here, and that will help you conduct efficient searches and appropriate searches for those articles through the NSU databases. Also, thing to note, you will not be conducting the research that you are proposing. We are just creating a prospectus, which is a shortened proposal for a research project. So you will not be collecting data. Do not interact with people who you might consider participants. Don't ask anyone any questions, participate in interviews or anything like that. You are just telling me what you are planning on doing. You are laying it out. You're explaining it in detail. So you will not be conducting the research for this class. No IRB or anything like that. Well, I think we have covered everything on the syllabus and the course in Blackboard. If you have any questions, my email is bakera@nsu.ok.edu. So if you need me, please feel free to email me, and I look forward to working with you this semester.